Hey guys, today I'm going to bring you a loot run for Shoreline. This is a loot run that I use from day one of the wipe all the way to the end. This is one of the safest, most efficient loot runs. If you want to avoid getting into fights and get out with your loot, this is the run for you. First thing I'm going to do is take off all of my gear so that you guys can see what the value is while I'm doing the run. And we're going to hop into a raid so I can show you the run. After that, we'll go through the map itself with the different spawns and figure out the best routes for you to take. Now, I do recommend, if you have the flea market available, to get a hold of the 2 cottage keys, the back door, and the safe key. So you're looking 35, 169 is a bit pricey, but it's not bad. It's needed for a task as well. So about 200k, a little over 200k, you can get these 2 keys, and they will help make your money back a little bit quicker. Get ourselves into a run. I'm going to do an offline raid just with no gear so I can show you a little trick to see if you're making money or not. Again, this is just going to be a quick loot run on Shoreline where I like to go over and over again. You can do it day or night. You're not going to be getting a LEDX or a Bitcoin or any of those super high tier items, but at the same time, the chances of you getting a fight are low, so it's a pretty safe run. Now, depending on your spawn, there's an extended version. Oh, this is the perfect spawn for what we want. One of the better spawns for sure. We'll start our run on this side. We hit the cache. And I do skip a lot of the buildings. I don't hit every bag or box. Only going after, so I'll try and hit a couple of the duffels that are on the way. I don't go out of my way usually to get them, but I do focus on the stashes as well as the safes and jackets. So this is a nice little jump over. If you're coming from the other side, you can jump over on these containers into that area to get that loot. So again, I'm rocking no equipment. Pick up relatively everything, and then I'll start to sort it after when I start getting a little full. This is a tech spawn. You can get graphics cards there. So now we'll go across the street. Loot this side before moving on. So like I said, this is just a quick route. We're not going to go super far. I actually took my keys out for this one. Duffels, jackets, and stashes are really what I'm going for. Got ourselves a GB coin. Now most of this stuff is unlooted even if you scav in, so I'll scav in at night. During the day, this area is usually relatively untouched, especially later in wipe. Now, the benefit of spawning on this side, which makes this run very good, is that we actually have the path to Lighthouse Extract, which is just over there, which we'll be taking. It stops you from having to traverse the whole map. Another stash here. Now, what I'll tend to do, now that I'm starting to get full, is we can press tab Going to our overall, the total current value in stash, this is what we're carrying right now to the traders. So right now you can see we've already, if we sold everything we're wearing, including the backpack and the armor that we came in with, we're at around 364,000. So doing that periodically will help you quickly determine what's going to be worth more to traders. If you do have the fleet unlocked, you'll at least get a sense of what might be worth more if you don't know all the items. Relays right now aren't worth a big amount, but beginning of the wipe, when everyone's trying to do their hideout, they are. Now stashes, I tend to get a decent amount of armor, helmets, guns lately. I've gotten slicks from them in hex grids before, so even late in the raid, somebody didn't check one, and get yourself a sweet piece of armor for your next loadout. But now I do skip a lot. For me, if I'm doing a money run, speed is key. I want to try and make as much money as I can, as quickly as I can, and as safely as I can. So I'm not going to get myself into any fights or really risk anything. I've noticed beginning of the wipe, what I'll do is I'll scav here at night. I'll use that to my advantage. Oh, we run across 4 jackets in this building. This is definitely one you want to check. I know I skip over a couple here and there. Once you get to know the key values, you know which ones to throw away, like the pump isn't worth it, but that comes with time. Every key is worth anywhere from 5 to 10, 15 for the regular, nothing special keys, but I always tend to find at least 1 or 2 good keys every run in this area. So factory keys, 40 grand, and then they go up from there. Again, like I said, I don't go too crazy on checking every building. You just want to get in and out with some money. Now, boxes like this will have a lot of hardware stuff. If you're looking for certain items for your hideout, worth checking. Another armor or rig here. There you go, a USEC. So if I came in with just a scav rig or something, I'd have 2 armors on me. And that's it. You kind of upgrade as you go. This building, I don't believe I usually check. No, I don't bother with this building. Again, super quick run. Now again, some runs are going to be better than others, but when they're this quick, I'm never too concerned. Spawning on this side gives me some opportunity for getting in and out quicker. Even if I don't search everything, just having the large amount of stuff repeatedly, you're going to make up that money for 1 or 2 missed items. And when I start from this side, I tend to kind of finish off at the cottages. Start to get to where you have to decide what you want to take money wise, and this overall. So we're already at just under 700,000, and we haven't even hit the safes in the cottage. So again, there's a lot of potential in this run, and it's relatively safe. You may run into Sanitar and his guards here in this section, which out of all the areas, this one is not the worst to fight him. I think Pier is the worst. Get that fight. What I recommend is when you're coming up to this area, take it slow, stop, listen. They tend to be moving around making noise. They're not relatively quiet all the time. And if you have a rough idea where they are, bring a grenade, toss your grenade in there, send them running, and you can shoot them while they're running. A lot of times they won't shoot back right away. I always try and go for the guards first. So see, now we're into some better stuff. Throw what we believe is the cheaper stuff. The rubles, never usually worth keeping. You want to aim for what everybody says the rule of thumb is 10,000 a slot. We're going to be doing this run maybe 3-4 times. After that, everything tends to add up on its own. Cover mask isn't best. We'll take this. Cat's only worth around 30,000, but I like to keep them for the hand-in tasks, your dailies. Now I have found GPUs in this computer. Now we come out this side. There you go, masks. Some milk. What I recommend doing, just consuming all your food items if you don't need them. Getting max level metabolism definitely helps for staying in the raid longer. At this point, I don't have the key, so we're gonna get out. But what I do check is that cottage there, if I have those 2 keys. And in the corner, take an extended little run here. And I will hit, if I'm coming from the other way, or I have this key, I may make them jog across the street. And there's one more stash here. And that's pretty much it. That's a quick run. If we were to sell, so that's 830,000 minus the 2 things we came in with, and that's just to the traders. So we're looking at 830,000 to the traders, selling everything, say around 7 after my gear is out, and that's a high sell rate on my gear to the traders. So 700,000, and that's a quick run. Now to safely get out, if I do hit this, I'll run across this edge of the field, play it safe. I keep it low, but I keep to the tree line. If I'm not going to the locked cottages, I'll kind of go back and along that side of the field. So right now, just because I'm all by myself, will run through the field like a crazy man. That's pretty much all I hit. I don't go out of my way to loot every single package, because you're gonna fill up your backpack, and at that point it's just trying to figure out what's worth more in your nickel and diming. And the longer you're in the raid, the higher chance you have of getting shot. So when I come to this side, if I'm scavving, even as a PMC, if I'm running this way, I like to hit this house and the governor's house. There's a jacket in there, as well as some decent loot spawns. Find, you can get batteries in there. You can get your hands on a lot of gunpowders. In this house here, and to go after this guy right here. Sometimes I'll have good stuff on him. Helmets, rollers, GP coins. So it's always worth a quick check, doesn't hurt. Now, get across as a PMC, you can either go across the top if you're going across the top. What I like to do is I take the church route. Church route kind of keeps me out of the swamp, get close to the fence. Now there is another dash here somewhere. I can never find it. All I know is it's by one of the gravestones. but I'll just follow the wooden path. Don't have to run on it. Keeps you nice and quiet, keeps you out of the swamp. You have a crate there if you want. And then I just use this as cover. The scavs over by that rock there tend not to shoot you from here. If you're playing at night, you do have to watch out for the cultists. They will pop you. And that's about it. We're out. You can run down into the field. What I like to do, even if I'm coming from resort, my little extract, I like to climb up this rock. You are a little exposed, but if you haven't been shot at this point, you're pretty much clear to get out right here. And that's it. Spawn on this side, in out 700, 750k. And again, that's just to the traders. I'll quickly bring up a map and I'll show you the route I take on the map, as well as if I'm coming from the other side. That's about it. That's my shoreline loot runs, and that's done me quite well. I can't complain. Very safe. If you're looking for some money and not so many fights, that might be the way to go. Okay, so like I said, here's the map of Shoreline with some drawings. So if I show up on the east side of the map, if that's where I'm going to spawn, these are some of the routes. I'll go to radio, is one of my hotspots. There's one stash there, right on the bush, which is relatively easy to find. If I'm spawning down by the railroad tracks, there's two stashes, one underneath the log and one right next to the fence. This stash here is on the corner of the broken down house by the drone. The next one that I'll hit probably first is by the grave markings. By the northmost grave marking, there's a tree. This one I think we all know is right next to the rock. From there, I make my way into weather station. There's a duffel bag, safe, and a computer that I like to hit. That's probably all I'll hit. And I'll make my way down to the tank underneath the bridge. There's a stash there. And then I try and avoid the whole mess that's power station. I like to go up and around. When I get to terminal, there's one stash on the corner that you can see when you cross. And then I just avoid that and work my way down to construction and basically do everything that was seen in that raid in reverse. Coming from the opposite side, if I'm spawning down by the tunnel, I'll run back in, kind of hit it left to right, kind of zigzag my way through. And then again, cottages out the same way we did it. If I spawn here by the swamp, I'm going to hit the governor's house first, and then I'm going to move across, hit all those stashes, same thing, zigzag my way through and out. You're looking about 10-15 minutes, in and out safe. I'll do it as a scav all the time. I'll scav down by the pier, I'll check it. I'll just kind of work my way in from this side. If I have an extract, either the ruined house, Tilly's End, or even the ruined road, I'll just work my way over to this area. I kind of keep myself away from the resort. I don't want to get into fights. I keep myself kind of out of the open fields. This is the only real open cross that I make by the radio tower, but I'll play it slow. I'll hold here. I can see if any of these spawns are running across to get their way to resort, and then you just kind of follow the tree line. Keep yourself hidden, get that loot, and get out. Reset. My loot run, and it's done me very well. So thanks for stopping by, guys, and I hope that you're able to use this to put some rubles in your bank.